let's get a little philosophical, right? Italian and Dominican friar, priest, philosopher, theologian, jurist, Thomas Aquinas. He had many thoughts on many things, including finance and lending. And his thoughts on merchants were that they need to set higher prices to make sure that they could support their own family and, of course, be able to help the poor. Now, when it came to taking loans, Aquinas also was pretty clear. People who take loans need the money, such as poor people who have to take care of themselves and their families. This means that lending really, there was two implied sins in his mind, right? Taking advantage of the needy, or if you hyped up too much your interest rate, wanting more than what you needed in terms of being able to be an efficient lender. And so I think it's worth considering that through his ethical lens, Aquinas would likely find that the exposure to mortgages, mortgage lending, we're talking about non-mortgage lending right now, the interest rates have gone up so much, he'd probably find that troubling. In fact, non-mortgage interest is higher than mortgage interest. You know, in a world where victimhood is often the narrative, it's the narrative of the day, it's crucial to pause and reflect. When do we shift the blame to the borrower without fully understanding their circumstances, right? I mean, this is not 1224, it's 2024. And while we do have too many poor folks and too many people living week to week, there's also a lot of excess, right? I mean, people are buying stuff they simply do not need and cannot afford. Yeah, I know you go into a store, particularly around the holidays, and they have someone dressed as Santa, and you get caught up in the moment. You want to buy everyone a gift. You get the bait and switch. You find out the fees are 35%. But the point is, the bait, right, is that something in your soul has nothing to do with natural nourishment, right? Because you're buying things you don't really necessarily need. Now, I get it. At a time when the government is paying out student loans for the most fortunate people out there, the argument is is no one's responsible for making any sort of smart economic decisions. I think it's a real shame. We continue to pass the buck, and it continues to get really tough, but the notion of responsibility now falls on deaf ears.